This season, Chelsea have shocked Europe.
Stefano, Schmamkon, che golazo!
Team that walked into the biggest stadiums, faced the strongest giants, and came out with wins that nobody saw coming. Paris Saint-Germain, Barcelona, Liverpool, one after another.
Here's Cucurella, right across for Estevao!
And when a team beats clubs like these, you don't call it luck. You call it a real contender. Because this is Chelsea, a club built on a winning mentality that started in the Mourinho era and never left.
I will say to win the first Premiership match on the 14th of August.
A team that refuses to be ordinary, that rises when the pressure is highest, and that always brings back its historic DNA when everyone counts them out. This is the new Chelsea, and this is why Europe should be worried.
He takes accuracy over power!
Back in 2004, Chelsea weren't just strong, they were terrifying. A team packed with monsters like Arjen Robben, Didier Drogba, Frank Lampard, and Ida Gudjohnsen. But even with all that talent, the real difference wasn't just the players, it was Jose Mourinho, the man who turned a good squad into a ruthless winning machine. He built a system so perfectly organised that Chelsea conceded only 15 goals the entire season and stormed the league with 95 points. That wasn't just dominance, that was the birth of a mentality. The moment Chelsea became a club built on power, discipline, and a mindset that refuses to break. And now, this new Chelsea feels like a modern reflection of that 2004 monster. A squad loaded with firepower. João Pedro, Estevao, Cole Palmer, Caicedo, Enzo Fernandez. Players with the same raw quality, the same spark that reminds everyone of Robben, Drogba, Lampard, and the legends of that era. But just like before, talent alone isn't the story, because this time, Chelsea have Enzo Maresca.
How much do you think they've improved under him this season?
A lot. I think recognize the team for the day one, even when we play in a summer camp in the States, many things I start to see that we spoke many times the last years together, so yeah, really good. So I'm very pleased. I was a lucky man to work with him in the last years, and everything happened with him and his family is fine, I'm fine. I'm happy for him.
A coach with a completely different tactical vision, a manager who brought structure, identity, and a style of football that fits these young stars perfectly. It's the same Chelsea DNA.
From McAllister, opening up for a shot for Moises Caicedo!
Reignited by a new generation and a new mastermind. At the start of the season, during the Club World Cup, all eyes were on the usual giants. Real Madrid, Paris Saint-Germain, Manchester City. These were the obvious favourites, the teams everyone expected to dominate. But, as always, Chelsea stayed quiet, stayed under the radar, and then did what Chelsea do best. And in a tournament where the world expected a different champion, Chelsea stepped forward and took the trophy, beating Paris Saint-Germain on the biggest stage. A reminder that this club doesn't need hype, it just needs moments. And when the moment arrives, Chelsea deliver. And if we go back just 4 seasons, under Thomas Tuchel, the same pattern appears. Chelsea once again did the impossible, beating Real Madrid, marching all the way to the Champions League final, and facing the strongest team in Europe at the time, Manchester City. And somehow, in a match that didn't even feel like it belonged to them, Chelsea still won 1-0.
Chilwell and Mount, and Havertz is through here. He's round Henderson and he must score. He has scored. Kai Havertz, Champions League hero!
That wasn't just a tactical win. That was Chelsea's DNA kicking in. The same sudden rise, the same shock factor, the same mentality of a club that appears out of nowhere, reaches the final, and lifts the trophy. And if we go back even further, to 2012, the story repeats itself. Chelsea survived an almost impossible battle against Barcelona, a brutal, exhausting semi-final, and still made it to the final, where they defeated Bayern Munich in a legendary showdown that ended in a dramatic penalty shootout.
It's Neuer, a new name on the trophy. Chelsea are kings of Europe.
These are the genes Mourinho built. Genes that stayed in the club, no matter how the squad changed, no matter how the managers rotated. And if we look at the Premier League this season, you'll find the same story repeating itself.
He's kept hold of it well. Gittins clipping it. Neto!
Yes.
Fantastic goal.
Great ball getting.
Chelsea sitting in second place, right behind Arsenal, a position nobody really paid attention to, because Chelsea are that kind of team, the one people overlook, the one no one takes seriously, until it's too late. This season, Chelsea also managed to beat Liverpool. Sure, Liverpool weren't at their best, but winning against them is never easy. The match was tough for Chelsea, with pressure from both sides, yet the team managed to secure the win in the final minutes. It was an important victory that shows Chelsea have character and the ability to stay in the fight until the very end. And even more intense was when Chelsea faced Barcelona. This isn't just any team, this is a squad packed with some of the best players in the world. Lamine Yamal, Marcus Rashford, Lewandowski, Ferran Torres. A team that literally terrorized Europe, even destroying Real Madrid along the way. And now, they were up against Chelsea in an incredibly tough match. From the very start, Chelsea's true face was clear, and their coach made a bold decision: to apply high pressure against a team like Barcelona right from the first minute. Chelsea pushed hard throughout the match and created several chances, but the goals weren't counted at first. Finally, after relentless pressure, they scored when Koundé made a mistake and put the ball in his own net. Soon after, Araujo received a yellow card and the first half ended. In the second half, Chelsea kept up the pressure and scored 2 more goals, one from Estevao and another from William Delap. It was a complete domination. Maresca completely outsmarted Hansi Flick. Chelsea controlled the game from start to finish at Stamford Bridge. Barcelona's star Lamine Yamal barely showed up, while Estevao stood out for Chelsea. This team is terrifying. You can never go into a match against Chelsea and be sure of winning. Even in the toughest situations, Chelsea have the mentality to find a way and come out on top. Maresca has been able to implement a very strong tactical system for the team. His approach gives Chelsea structure, balance, and identity on the pitch. Every player knows their role, every move is calculated, and the team operates as a cohesive unit. It's this tactical discipline that allows Chelsea to compete with the best, control matches, and turn even the toughest games in their favour. Chelsea have discovered a way to quickly break down defences thanks to Enzo Maresca's 3-1-3-3 system. This setup stretches defences, giving attackers more time and space to create chances. Maresca has led a tactical and psychological transformation, turning Chelsea from an inconsistent team into a more fluid and effective side. The formation evolved from a 3-2-5 to a 3-1-3-3, with Caicedo as the pivot and more freedom for players like Cucurella to exploit space. Chelsea now build patiently from deep, drawing opponents higher and creating space in midfield for fast transitions. The system combines defensive stability with explosive attacking movements, using rotations and positional changes to overload dangerous areas. While it creates many scoring opportunities, it requires discipline, especially defensively, to avoid being caught on counterattacks. In short, Maresca's 3-1-3-3 gives Chelsea a balance of defensive solidity and attacking firepower, showing promise for a potential title challenge, if they can maintain it throughout the season. Looking at the numbers, players like Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez have each managed to score 4 goals this season. Their scoring comes from their ability to move forward and get into dangerous positions, especially Enzo, who often makes runs into the box, something we clearly saw in the match against Barcelona, where he constantly threatened the opposition. Caicedo, on the other hand, relies on second balls under high pressure and is capable of scoring from outside the box. This has been evident in key matches, including goals against Liverpool and Ajax, showing how effective Chelsea's attacking system is when their players make the right movements. His performances remind us of Chelsea's 2004 season under Mourinho, a time when Drogba led the attack with power and presence, while Lampard controlled the midfield and scored from outside the box. Just like back then, João Pedro combined strength and skill up front, and midfield runners like Enzo Fernandez or Caicedo can score from outside the area, keeping the opposition constantly under threat. Chelsea's season this year has been a reminder of what makes this club so special. From historic victories against giants like Paris Saint-Germain, Barcelona and Liverpool, to the tactical brilliance of Enzo Maresca, this team has shown that talent alone isn't enough. It's the mentality, the structure and the hunger to win that define them. From veterans like Caicedo and João Pedro making decisive plays, to Enzo Fernandez driving through defences and creating danger, Chelsea have combined youth, skill and discipline to become a force that no one can ignore. The 3-1-3-3 system has given them balance, allowing them to be solid defensively while deadly on the attack. Every match, every goal, every defensive effort is a statement. This team is serious, and they're here to compete at the highest level. Chelsea remind us that great teams aren't built overnight. They're forged through history, experience, and a winning mentality passed down through generations, from Mourinho to Tuchel, and now Maresca. And as this season continues, one thing is clear. Chelsea may not always be in the spotlight, but when it matters, this is Chelsea. This is a team that refuses to be ordinary. A team that thrives under pressure, surprises the world, and reminds Europe why they should never be underestimated. If you enjoyed the video, hit like and subscribe to get all the latest updates from the channel. Bye!